I would never take fashion advice from Shira. Her wigs are cheap. Her makeup is, the eyeliner be sloppy at times. Who is she? Who made her the authority to give a fashion advice? She is not tea. Her body is not tea. Her hair is not tea. The makeup is not tea. I will outdress Miss Shira, Miss Ashley, and any other sociopathic black woman on this app. She preys on women with low self-esteem. That's another thing. Her cult following is nothing more than women with low self-esteem that don't know their self-worth. And these women will put her on a pedestal, and everything that comes out her mouth, they're taking notes like, oh, she's gonna... Who gave this authority to give any advice about fashion and hair? I wish a bit would come for me, honey. You got the right one. And I got a history of being a runway model here in New York City.
What do you bring to the table, Miss? Nothing. I'm not no waitress. And if I was, I'm putting extra food on that bill so you could give me extra. What if he asks about body count? Ask about bank account. What you ask them their body count? Men and women. You might be surprised. You said women will tell you they love you, hold your hand, but secretly want your bag. Exactly. Men will tell you they love you, hold your hand, but secretly want what's in your pants. Same thing. If he's ugly, maybe imagine yourself spending his money. Imagine him taking you shopping. That's the look you're gonna need. So this is my imagine him taking you shopping look.
Heartbreak Hotel.
Like, I know something you don't know. How do you know if a dude is lying if his lips is moving? Sprinkle, sprinkle. If he always asks for pictures and pictures, he's collecting pictures because he can't collect you. When a woman says, don't worry about it, I will find another way, that means another man.
I hate that people are mad about the fact that Shira is being canceled. You know what people say? Silence is golden. Escamos. Majority of people who follow Shira are from a marginalized group of people. People who care that children are being cut limb from limb. Do you understand this? She could have just ignored the question. She could have moved on. She could have just said, you know what? I don't want to get into it. She went out of her way.
I think she was talking about, apparently, Shira, there was something going on with Starbucks at some point in time where they were, I guess, sourcing coffee. I'm not really 100% sure. So I just want to make sure I got it right. In January 2024, I think it was, Starbucks was sued for allegedly failing to address human rights and labor violations in its supply chain. The lawsuit claims that Starbucks has continued to purchase coffee and tea from suppliers that have been accused of child labor, human moving around, I'll say it like that, and other exploitative working conditions. Starbucks has denied the allegations and says it is committed to working with its suppliers to meet its standards. That's what they're talking about. And then there were people that were saying boycott Starbucks for this reason. And apparently Shira 7 went and bought Starbucks and then was drinking it online. And I think what she's saying is, why are you doing that? You could have just got your Starbucks, even if you didn't believe in the cause, and drank it offline.
To tell the world that she literally did not care. That was not necessary. Influencers need to learn how to take notes from Beyonce, from Halle and Chloe, from Ariana Grande, Justin Bieber. You don't see them talking about every single accusation. You don't see them getting on the internet to defend themselves. Shut up. Be quiet. And stop losing deals and important things because you can't shut the fuck up.
Dang.
Shut up.
If you find a super spiritual woman, she's an old hoe, or a former host of them. If you run into an extremely religious woman, she's an old hoe. Just gonna let y'all know, because that's how they erase their hoe. She's super spiritual. She's enlightened. She must be like divine. You don't associate the two with the two. Like one day you saw her with all her stuff hanging out this year. She wrapped up like Erykah Badu. That's how you can recognize the old hoe. But if you don't want to be recognized that easy, or it's so easy to spot, class it up. You don't spiritualize it up, but only to your family. But to the rest of the world, you class it up. Look, you look like the type of chick that had everything handed to you. You were probably this in high school. That's what you want to look like. You're right, I was spoiled. Yes, oh, I don't do those kind of things. Oh no, I've never touched drugs. Oh no, I don't do that. I'm too shy. They will believe that over the fake spiritualism y'all used to hide the wholeness, okay? Can we define hoe? Loose woman, slept with everybody, showed everything.
Can we define it?
frame pictures of her booty first, turn it around like this. That's what I describe. So sleeping with anybody doesn't matter. Going home on a first date, I'm free. I got 8 numbers all calling me at the same time and I'm sleeping with all of them. That type of stuff. Everywhere you go, somebody recognize you because you probably slept with them. Even if you got paid, it's still, the reputation is there. That's why I say get one man and focus on that one.
I don't know why she has to explain this. That to me is alarming. That's terrible that you have to, what do we define that as? I mean, it's never changed. This is the type of audience she has? You got to define that for him?
Get that money.
Let this be a warning. If you treat Sprinkle Share a 7 content as anything beyond satire and you actually act upon it, you might find yourself in a gilded cage of your own making that you call a relationship, in the worst cases, a marriage. Let's just start with the sheer ethics of the situation. It seems that she has a very young and a very impressionable audience. And I can tell you for a fact, the scraps I survived on in relationships at 22 are not the things that keep me full and fed even just 6 years later at 28. The type of relationship that Share a 7 is peddling to people is not a partnership. And it is not an equal partnership. I'm mainly talking about cishet relationships in this conversation. And women are complex, intelligent, emotionally evolved people. Maybe at 22, 19, whatever it may be, your greatest aspiration is to have Chanel bags and have someone pay your bills. Because at that age, those things feel so far off and impossible. And they might feel impossible at other ages too, but especially by and large at those ages, they feel so far off. That is completely fine. But I can almost guarantee you, like I said, I am just 6 years away from that point. And those things do not matter to me. Not because I have them, but because I realize I need so much more in a relationship. So if you are very young, because in this society, your youth and your beauty are powerful and sometimes they can feel like your only currency. If you lock yourself into an arrangement, because that's what this is, the types of relationships she's talking about, they are arrangements. Each person fulfills a role. And if you play those roles, you get the prizes. If you don't, you're punished for it. But back to my point, if you lock yourself into that type of arrangement when you are 22, I promise you, year after year, you will outpace emotionally and mentally what that relationship can offer you and what you want. And a lot of the times I believe she's encouraging you to be with people who are much older than you so that they can provide you that security and stability that she keeps harping on about. And those people are fully formed adults. You will change so much in your 20s that those things will not fulfill you by the time you get to the end of your 20s. And if they do, and maybe they do, literally zero judgment. If you enter into this with full willingness that this is what you want and you're happy, all the more power to you. I am making this video more so for the people who think that this will be enough and who think that this will always be okay for them, and it might not be, because she doesn't ever talk about that. Which brings me to, what do you know about Share a 7? What are her credentials? What do you like about her? Yes, she's brazen, she's entertaining, all of those things. She's unapologetic. And I honestly love all those things too. And I love a bit of feminine rage. I think the advice that she gives, I think 93% of it is satire at best, harmful at worst.
I like the point that she made about it being entertainment. Quite honestly, that's why I see Fresh and Fit as. It's entertainment. It's a space, I would say, I think, I'm hoping a lot of men, if they're watching the channel, they go there and they're like, oh man, this is just funny. It's just something, to kind of, relax me after work, or something when I'm at work. I'm just mindless babble and just, really comedy is what it is. It's a show. It ain't real. Like this don't happen for real people. You know what I mean? These women, they doing whatever they doing, and I would never date a woman like that. I put my little comment in there, and after that, I go back to what I'm doing, because I know this ain't going to be my life. Never was my life. I don't want it to be my life. It's just performance is all it is. I mean, I know it's their life, but, for regular, normal people, this is entertainment. This is a movie. This is a skit. This is a reality TV, right? And so with that being said, I'm hoping that women that watch Share 7 understand, hey man, it's just satire. She's just talking nonsense. That's it. I mean, maybe there are some things that she says that's, oh yeah. That is right. That is correct. Because I think I've heard some stuff that she says that actually makes some sense when she talks about finding an older man that can give you money, and if he ain't giving you this type of money, then leave him, all that other stuff. You you need to go on down the road, man.
And the 7% that's okay is when she talks about really valuing yourself, taking pride in yourself. Those are all really, really important things. Those are just about having self-confidence and self-trust. But the rest of it, though, when you're taking advice from this person, what do you know about her? And again, no shade. This is my personal opinion and taste. Anything that I see from her aesthetic, from the back of her videos, I don't find any of those things aspirational. And I always believe this: the person you'd rather listen to is a reluctant prophet, not someone who is overeager for them to be your bastion of sense, of morality, of direction. Because why are people overeager for you to depend on them? It's not because they care about you. They don't know you. Human minds cannot conceptualize hundreds of thousands of people following them and their individualism. What they can conceptualize is views. My deep fear is that she has to keep upping the ante in every single post, in every single thing that she says, to the point where relationships look like funhouse mirrors in her content. If you think that you can adhere to a Pinterest board of femininity, of 2D images where you're never allowed to be a person, where you always have to be perfect, you have to look perfect, you have to say the exact right thing, and you have to be essentially a kept woman, then this life might be for you. If you think you can do that. Very, very few people can. And if you can, and you enter into this willingly, all the more power to you. A functional partnership where your needs can also be on the front burner will always feel better than this. And the way she speaks about things, I'm just not sure that's 100%. Forget 100%. I'm just not sure that's even 50, 60% guaranteed in her prescription. Like I said before, women are complex and evolved. Men are too. Good, healthy, stable partners, men, they are also humans. They are too. And if you want to be with one of those people, and I really think I am now, and I have been for a while now, you have to allow them to be more than a bank account. You have to allow them to be more than just providers. You cannot flatten them. You will be able to have arguments. You will be able to express your point of view. You will be able to disagree with their opinions and what they say without fear of them leaving you and your entire lifestyle that you've built on this man coming crumbling down. My dad says this, my uncles, my older cousins who are guys say this, who are all successful. They always say it's better to build it with a man than to always come in when he's built everything. More times than not.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely. That's exactly what I'd be saying on my channel. Find you somebody, a man, for these young women out here. Find you a man, your dad, your grandfather, your uncle, to let you know, to lead you in the right direction. They gonna do it. They might make mistakes, but they gonna do their best to steer you in the right direction because they want to do what? Protect you. A lot of what society says men are not doing. No, I'm not worried about you because you don't mean anything to me. And I've learned, based on what the shift in society is, that I should use my help sparingly. I should use my protective services sparingly, because some of the women out here, modern women, strong, independent women, get out here with no emotional discipline. And that's a threat to me being with my family back at home. You get out here and holler and scream and be all up in the face of danger, and then you just want me to jump in and just take care of it. Oh, thank you so much. And oh man, his unaliving wasn't in vain. And now my wife, my kids at the house, broken, shattered, in pieces, because I'm messing around with you. But a man is going to do his best to lead you away from all of that stuff. Even when you're with him, he gonna do his best to lead you away from all of that stuff. So I like that point. Number one. Number two, for my young ladies, because apparently when she was 22, she was in this headspace. And now 6 years later at 28, when she's with somebody, she's now maturing and realizing, whoo, that was a terrible situation. I got myself in trouble. Exactly. That's exactly it. You could have gotten yourself in trouble. And I hope, once again, some of these younger women are saying, you know what, this sounds good. I really want a Chanel bag or whatever and whatnot, but I'm not willing to give up my integrity for it. My character means more than some bag or some shoes that cost $600. A Chanel bag cost $1,100, $2,000. You can't get a tax return? If you want it that bad, I'm not saying that's good financial sense, but you can't work and get a tax return and get it. You can't put it on a loan or something like that, or a firm or some type of layaway and then just make payments on it. Once again, I know it's stupid. Like, you shouldn't do that. But I'm saying instead of giving your body up, instead of giving your integrity up, I would say that's better.
And let me tell you, I went through that Rishta setup process. Okay, so I've talked to some characters. More times than not, these men are pieces of work because they think that having money gives them some otherworldly, godly ability to treat other people as subhuman. And anything that gets in the way of them and their money, including you, including your emotions, is something to be managed and made smaller. I'm never saying settle. Trust me, I have not. I'm never saying settle, but I am saying raising your standards doesn't exactly mean what she's telling y'all it means. Raise your standards so that you find someone who treats you as a human being, who loves all of those messy parts of you, who helps you work through them, who helps you get better. Not just someone who is going to fill your closet with bags. Be careful, be mindful of the advice people give, and this is just my opinion, but I hope it helps.
I'm fitting to piss off a whole bunch of sprinklets.
Coming in
I have
hot.
to talk about this one, honey, because I saw this one coming a mile away. This is why Shira Seven's advice will never work for the modern day woman. Y'all are like the blind following behind the blind leading the blind, honey. Shira's blind and her delusional followers are all blind. And I'm going to tell you why. This is an example why listening to Shira 7 is going to get you hemmed up to a financially scammer con artist. Portia has to divorce this man before he brings her down. But because she went chasing after his money, she knew he was married, didn't care, didn't respect his wife, still slept with the man, took him away, stole him from his wife, rebounded and married the man, chasing his money, had 2 glamorous fairy tale weddings, Nigerian weddings, talk of the town. She thought she was that big. And now look, she's divorcing the man. They ain't been married. They was married, a year and a couple of months? This is really sad. They have not even been married 2 years straight. And she's filing for a divorce. Why? Because this man is an entire scammer. He has a history of being a financial credit card scams, all types of deportation shit going down. He's a scammer. And had Portia checked him for his moral compass, his character, his integrity, his history, and how he treated his ex-wives, instead of chasing his money because she's greedy and she don't have no morals herself, she could have avoided this situation. Her story is no different than Shira's story, except Shira did not have all this money. James is not a millionaire, okay? It's the same exact story. Shira slept with a married man. She wasn't even his first side chick. He had his wife. We're talking about James, Shira's husband. He had a wife, he had a girlfriend, and then he had Shira. So Shira came in third. He prioritized 2 women before her. This really screams a lot about her self-esteem. She could sit there and delude herself all day that, he was treating her good, even though she didn't know he had a wife and all that. How could you possibly not know that this man was already taken? He was dividing himself. He was dividing his time between two other women. There's no way that Shira did not know that this man had a wife, let alone an extra girlfriend. He had to spread himself out thin to spend time with her. He had to divide his time up equally amongst multiple women. So how could Shira please tell me that she did not know that James was cheating on her at the time? Anyway, James comes back asking Shira to take him back. And she claims he bought her a house, a car, whatever, financial. She's chasing James' money instead of looking at James' moral compass, his integrity, and the fact that he has multiple women in his past. So let me just explain something to the dum-dums. There's a lot of delusional dumb women out here that don't understand the correct term for what is. A lot of women think it's just physical. No, a man can a woman financially, which James did to Shira because he was much older. He's a predator, in my opinion. When you see a man that's much older than a woman and he controls her with money and gifts and things, he's a predator, and he has the potential to be because he'll sleep with a teenage girl too and buy a young teenage girl gifts just to control her. So that's all James was doing with his money, was controlling Shira. He's a narcissist. Same thing as Simon. Simon financially, he used Portia. He financially, his ex-wife failing, he put his name in their credit so that he couldn't get caught by the law. He's done a lot of financial crimes. This is what financially can do. Same thing, James financially of Shira. Y'all talking about he bought her this and bought her that. That was to control Shira, because that's what older men do with younger women, that they want to control and manipulate. They have to buy these young women gifts. It's not love. None of it is love. It's all control, manipulation. And so yeah, James might have came back and begged Shira to come back once she found out that she was a side chick. I always felt that she knew the whole time. That's just me personally. Side chicks be knowing what the fuck it is. He's two other besides you, his wife and his girlfriend. So he barely has enough time for you. So how could you not know where his time was going when he was not with you? Shira's a lie. Anyway, there are different forms of that men do to women besides physical. There's financial, there's spiritual, emotional, which is narcissistic, all of the above. So I think Shira's audience is very confused with what really is. They think that it's just physical. James financially, Shira. And because she was so young and dumb and naive, and she was just focused on the money, she went ahead and married him just despite his ex-wife. But now she locked herself into a very toxic, loveless, lifeless marriage. And God is nowhere in her marriage. Because there's no way you should stay in a marriage where you're tolerating financial. He's not sleeping with her. So he definitely, James has a side chick. If Shira's not opening up her legs, James is a man and he has needs. He's getting those needs met somewhere else. And he definitely has to pay money to sleep with his side chick. The same way he had to pay Shira money and buy her gifts. Trust me, Shira's not getting 100% of his money. If she's not sleeping with him, he's got to pay another woman to sleep with her. Okay, James has needs. Let's all not be stupid. So Shira's story is just like Portia's story. Shira was so focused on getting back at James' ex-wife, taking his money to prove a point to his ex-wife, that Shira ignored James' morals and the fact that he's a womanizer, he's a financially and controlling, he's a predator, much older, preying on younger women. Why did Shira ignore all of those bad traits of James just to get to his money? So it's the same thing here with Portia. Portia knew that this man was a womanizer. He has a history of using women, using women financially. All that money and all the possessions that he has, he's a scammer. A lot of those material things are in his ex-wife's names, and he places material things and money in different women's names, in different accounts. His history of scamming goes back to the 80s. Why didn't Portia investigate his background before she married him? because she was too busy being a side chick and trying to steal a married woman's man away from her, because she was fixated on controlling his money and pulling him away from failing his ex-wife. Now she locked herself down to a con artist.
Exactly. And this is the type of person that some of these women be following. And you have to have people online that come through and say, this is what the situation is. I'm sorry to make it this raw, this dirty, this nasty, but I really need you to understand who you're following, who you're allowing to influence you. Young ladies, don't go this direction. Young ladies, turn around, go left, go right. But if you keep straight, any semblance of a regular relationship for you is darn near over. You thinking that you're going to find a man that loves you, that values you for who you are, versus, oh, she just crying again, let me send her some Olive Garden. Oh, Olive Garden ain't enough, let me send her something a little bit more expensive. Oh, $500 for a steak for takeout, it ain't nothing to me because I got the money. Oh, but he takes care of me. He buys me anything that I want. The man don't even know you. He don't even be at the house. Y'all don't even be in to say, oh, it's fine by me. I find a man that I like too, and this and that. You don't think that there's a better way to live your life? Really? You don't think that there's a more fulfilling way to live your life besides the arrangement that you got going on? You don't think that you could have kept your integrity? You could have, because a lot of modern women talk about, I want to be a beacon of light. I want to be a beacon of hope to the younger ladies. How is being in a relationship like this a beacon of hope? How is it a beacon of light? Because when they get into it and they see, wait a minute, all of this is a scam. I'm so tired. What they're going to do is they're going to put that on the man. And all of y'all going to be hurt, but it's your fault because people have been telling you to steer clear of this type of advice, but you didn't want to listen. And unfortunately, that'll be your own fault. You can't save everybody, but that's just my opinion. To the next video, I'm out.